In October of 2023, I decided to start cash trading. This means that if you want to cash out your CS2 skins, you just come to me and I buy your CS2 skins for PayPal for a little bit under buff price. This way you know you won't get scammed and I can make a little bit of profit. And over the last couple months, the items just got crazier and crazier, starting from an op fade, then a factory new AK hydroponic, and in the last video, I bought a karambit fade. And in this video, we're one-upping that once again with the Talon knife ruby. We started the week off with a couple of more boring items, for example a nomad safari mesh. I made around $12.50 on this, followed by a pair of driver gloves Queen Jags, field tested with a profit of $7.90. Then I bought this M4 Asimov with pretty cool stickers. Although the stickers aren't worth any overpay, I profited around $7 on this guy. Next was the first item that I would actually consider interesting. It was a bayonet ultraviolet field tested with a float of 0.16. I bought this guy for $186 and after taxes and everything, I managed to resell it for a profit of $15. The items keep getting bigger because next up we have a Huntsman marble fade in factory new that I bought for $260. Pattern is nothing special, the float's nothing special, but it still went up quite a bit while on trade hold and I made $37.24 on it. Next up we have one of my favorite skins ever, the M4 print stream in field tested. I bought this guy for $106 and I resold it for a profit of $14.60. It's so unfortunate that the hollow effect is not as prominent in CS2. In CSGO, this is literally my favorite skin. Up next, we have a Glock Emerald in field tested with a float of 0.19. I bought this guy for $125, and once again, this went up a little bit while on trade hold, and I resold it for a profit of $22.73. Then I bought a skin I usually don't really consider buying, a Talon knife ultraviolet minimal wear. I bought it for $327, and in the end, I managed to resell it for a profit of over $37. The reason I don't really like to buy these is because the ultraviolet has a float cap of 0.06, and for this reason factory new is really rare, but minimal wear is also somewhat rare and more expensive than field tested, which means it's a lot less liquid than field tested. Usually I don't go for minimal wears of these 0.06 cap finishes, but for some reason I decided to do it anyway, and I made some good profit on it, so it was the right decision. The next knife I bought is very interesting. It's a minimal wear butterfly case hardened, and look at it. It is a complete gold gem. Now I did a little bit of research and I found a very similar one for barely any overpay, so I told the guy that I don't think I can overpay for the pattern, but he was okay with that, and I bought it for $740, and after selling it, this made me a profit of $113. Next skin is another banger. It's a karambit Doppler phase 1. I bought this guy for $960, and this stonked again while on trade hold, and I made $168 of profit with it. Then we're back to the smaller items with the battle scarred Vulcan that I bought for $57, making me a little bit over $5 of profit after selling it. Then I bought a gut knife Doppler phase 2 for $164 that once again stonked, and I made $31 on this guy. That's crazy for a $160 item. And next, the biggest item of this week, well actually it was 3 weeks, but let's call it a week still. The biggest item that I bought this quote-unquote week was a butterfly knife Gamma Doppler phase 3. I paid $1,700 for this, and luckily this one stonked again. I made $350 on it. I was not supposed to make this much as when I bought it, but I got incredibly lucky and I did. After that, we're back to the smaller items with the Shadow Daggers black laminate minimal wear. Bought it for $62 and made $970 on it. Then I bought a skin that I promised myself I would never buy, a StatTrak Nomad Night Stripe in field tested. The story behind this knife is that I told the guy that I can't buy it, but he insisted that I do, so I told him, alright, I can buy it, but the price I will offer is extremely low. So I offered him lower than my usual rate, and he was okay with it, even though I clearly told him how much the knife was worth, and I told him that that is a low offer, but I ended up buying it for $106, so I made $27.50 on it. It actually sold very quickly, so now I feel kind of guilty for only paying that much, but obviously I couldn't have known that it was going to sell so fast. The next item was an AUG Flame Yermangander in factory new that I bought for $197. This is probably the skin that went up the most in terms of percentage while it was on trade hold because I made almost $45 of profit after selling it. The next skin is another massive one, a karambit Doppler phase 2 this time. I bought it for $1,306, and after selling it, I was left with a profit of $276. This is an amazing trade. Once again, it went up while it was on trade hold. These 3 weeks have been insanely good. But we have 2 more items, the first of which is a StatTrak field tested op Asimov. I bought it for $180 and I made a profit of $21.40 on it. This is pretty average, but still a pretty solid trade. And the last item that I bought is the Butterfly Ultraviolet well-worn. Usually I don't buy well-worn skins, but these seem to be selling pretty frequently, so I decided to buy it for $500 and I made a profit of $70 on it. So that's all the skins that I bought these 3 weeks, but you may be asking me where the Talon Ruby is. I did not buy it off someone, I bought it for someone. So basically what we did is this guy contacted me on Discord asking to buy some buff balance, and I do sell buff balance, but the problem is we had no means of transferring it to him because he didn't have any tradable items that you could list for 30,000 RMB, the cost of the Talon Ruby. So I asked him what skin he wanted. He told me it was a Talon Ruby, and I offered him that I could buy the Talon Ruby on my account and send it over when the trade hold is over. And that's exactly what we did. He paid me for the Talon Ruby on Stripe, and I bought it on my buff account. I didn't make any profit. In fact, I lost about $20 to fees, but by selling my buff balance or selling skins this way, it allows me to buy more skins and make more profit. So overall, these 3 weeks, I made a total profit of $1,270, which is the best out of any video, I believe, but it's definitely not the best per week. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.